Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another time here. Every once in a while, technology disappoints. Since yesterday, and today it's no better. And you know, in life, there are things we can control, there are things we can't control. We're not gonna kill ourselves over the things we cannot control. Uh, we make the best of what we can control, and every other thing we just live through it. And that kind of ties very well with what we shared all week, right? We came back from sabbatical and we emphasized the need for and reason why we did the sabbatical break, and we went in and we started looking at where we stopped, and we looked at, I believe, verse 5 this week, verse 6 and verse 7 was where we stopped yesterday. And pretty much all of that focusing and emphasizing the importance, the reality that life happens to all of us. And probably just summarize the things we've spoken about or discussed about all week. We said life happens, the reality of it. Well, as long as we're here, life is going to happen. We're going to have challenges that we're going to live with, and we'll look back at what Jesus Christ said. He said that when the storm comes, he didn't say if the storm comes. The storm is gonna come. There's always going to be opportunity to test your foundation, right? To test your foundation. Life is about giving you time to build your foundation, and the foundation you build or not build will be tested, right? Life is full of tests. Life is not a continuous test. It comes and life comes in seasons, just like we say, men come in sizes. Life comes in seasons. There are seasons of life, right? And God talks about the seasons of life, right? And there is wisdom in understanding the fact that there are seasons of life, right? There's a time for the summer, the winter, the autumn, the spring, the fall, and each season requires certain things of us, and things that are done in season are easy to do, and things that are done out of season are difficult to do. When we make the best use of our seasons, then we're ready for every difficulty that any season or the following season brings to us, because each season tests our foundation. It's our foundation, is it on rock or is it on sand? And we emphasized earlier on, starting from Monday, the importance of rest, because when you're rested, you are in a mental state that can stand the challenge that life brings your way. Because one easy way to fall flat when life eats you or when life happens is when you're tired. I mean, it's not just physical tired. You could be tired spiritually. You could be tired psychologically. Any of that is going to flow you when life hits you. Because when life hits you, your body's not responding correctly, then evil thoughts begin to take sway over you, and you seemingly lose life, you lose your confidence. Well, let's go ahead and pray. We'll continue after praying. We were just sharing yesterday, and the internet went off for me. But Sister Ronke, you were saying something yesterday that you were talking, but I wasn't hearing you. You want to finish that thought pattern?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. So actually, yesterday you discussed about how people go into depression and all that. And I just want to share the thought regarding those of us, especially when you are a Christian and when the ethics of your profession has given you a guideline on how you need to behave and how you need to reflect on something. So thinking on something is what we call reflective practice. When there's a problem, even without being a problem, it's expected of every one of us after a day's work, reflect on how you performed during the day. And in a situation whereby there is a problem and they now have to do inquiry and all that, so you now have to reflect on, will you have done this thing the same way you did it the last time? or you are going to change on your action. And this had made many professionals to go into depression, a situation whereby you look at yourself, you said, all that is expected of me to do, I have tried and I've done it all. And yet this problem is still there. So some of them will now relate that to their personal life and thinking that, you know what, I'm going through this. And if at work also, I'm not able to really perform as expected of me, and it appears that I'm not doing well, I'm not this, and I'm not doing that. Because I came across someone about 2 weeks ago that because of what happened and all that the reports that he had was a rebook stating that she will have done it this and she will have done it that. And I said, have you actually read the history of this particular client that you are taking the blame for? Every other professional that have worked with this person, the person have not engaged. So why blaming yourself? Whoever that think that you cannot do better, they should appoint somebody else to take up the job and see if that person will be able to do it. Because you have now come to a point now that you feel discouraged, you said you want to take annual leave just to go away, but you still come back. And anytime you remember that case, it's still going to be that the person has already failed. So what I'm bringing out of this is that as much as we as believers, we learn from the mistake of the past, but the past is gone. You cannot bring it back. So dwelling so much on that and now makes us to come to a position that we want to withdraw from everything. You don't want to take on up any. Sometimes people will say, I'm not going to even try again. I've failed several times. I've done this and I've lost opportunities and not knowing that there's another opportunity waiting for them. So I would just advise us that as much as it's not good for us to dwell so much on it, but there is also good for us to be able to reflect on what was my mistake in the last time and how do I make sure that this time around I don't keep repeating the same thing. And that is for us as a child of God. And the scripture that says that rejoice not over me, my enemy. When I fall, I will rise up again. To us as a believer, there are scriptures to back us up. Even if we have missed opportunities, we shouldn't go to the point whereby we will think and we go into depression. Because the Bible says the joy of the Lord is our strength. When we start feeling so low and that kind of thing, then we need to cry for help. Even if it is not, I know most of the pastors, they take it spiritual and they will say that, okay, it's deliverance. If he's going to see a psychologist or whoever that will help, that will help. We have people too that are Christian who are psychologists, and the way they will deal with a matter is different from how other people will deal with this. The same way I would deal with some of the cases that come to me because I'm a believer, but I try as much as possible to bring in my belief into my work to make sure that whoever that comes my way, I'm able to reflect and I'm able to make sure that I support them. So that is my contribution about that, because this depression is actually common even here among the ethnic minorities.